Hi, my drug is Hytrin, and my name is Inaya Kareem. So we start out with a carbon. Attached with single bonds are going to be 3 hydrogens. And we have a single bond oxygen right here. Attached to the oxygen is going to be a carbon, and a double bonded carbon. And the double bond is to make the atom stable. We have a single bond carbon, another double bonded carbon right here. We have a single bonded carbon and double bonded also right there. Okay, so from this carbon right here, we have a single bond with a oxygen. Attached to that is going to be a carbon with 3 hydrogens attached to that. So from this carbon right over here, we're going to have another carbon attached to that with a single bond. We're going to have from this carbon right here a nitrogen. From this carbon, we're going to attach right down is going to be a nitrogen, which has 2 hydrogens attached to it. So from this nitrogen, we have a double bond with a carbon, and that goes with a single bond to a nitrogen and double bonded with the carbon. So from this carbon right here, we're going to have a single bond with a nitrogen. From this nitrogen, we're going to have single bond with a carbon right here and another one with another carbon. Attached is going to be another carbon. And with a double bond, we have a nitrogen right here. From here, we're going to have a carbon and nitrogen, single bond between the carbon and nitrogen. From this carbon right here, we're going to have a hydrogen attached. From this nitrogen, we're going to have a carbon that is double bonded with the oxygen, and with this carbon right here is single bonded with a hydrogen. This carbon right here is single bonded with 2 hydrogens. And from this carbon right here, single bonded with another carbon. From this carbon, we have a single bond with another carbon. And from this carbon, we have a double bond, which is again to make the atom stable with a oxygen. And from this oxygen, we have a single bond with a carbon. From this carbon, we have a single bond with another carbon, which is single bonded with that carbon as well. And from this carbon, we have 2 single bonds with 2 nitrogens. From these 2 are going to be also single bonded with hydrogens, and that's that. So now we're going to add the lone pairs. So to make this oxygen complete, we're going to add 1 lone pair. For this, we're adding 2 lone pairs. For this nitrogen, we're adding 1 lone pair. Right here, we're adding another single lone pair, single lone pair, a single lone pair. And for this oxygen, we're adding 2 lone pairs. And for this oxygen, we are also adding 2 lone pairs. So that is that. And now we're going to color code it. So we're going to have trigonal planar. We're going to have bent 120 degrees. We have tetrahedral. We have trigonal pyramidal. We have bent at 109 degrees. Oh, and just to let you know that the nitrogens that I double bonded is because nitrogen is one of the most electromagnetic elements, which is why I double bonded it. Okay, so for bent 120, which is just one lone pair with two elements attached, we only have one, and we're gonna do that in blue, which is the oxygen right here. Okay, next we have trigonal planar, which is just three elements being bonded to a central atom, which is, I mean, a lot of them. So we're gonna have this carbon, this carbon, this carbon, this carbon, this carbon, this carbon, this one, 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 and this one. We have tetrahedral, which we can do in orange. And tetrahedral is just 4 bonds to a central atom, so we only have 3 of them, I believe. One, that carbon, this carbon, and this carbon. We can do the trigonal pyramidal in green. Okay, so we have this nitrogen, this nitrogen, this nitrogen, this nitrogen, and this nitrogen. Lastly, we have bent 109, which we're gonna do in purple. And then for bent at 109, that's just 2 lone pairs with 2 elements attached. We have this oxygen, and we have that oxygen. Thank you for your time.